It is barely 5:20 a.m. and I have had a wild morning. I need some light to talk. So this morning, I was leaving Shelter Cove and I woke up at 4:15 and I was trying to hike by 5 a.m. Total dark, nobody is stirring in the entire campground. And I didn't get very much sleep last night because I stayed up late trying to get all of my devices charged for this next stretch. So I was a little sleepy and I was just gathering my last device that I had left charging overnight when a guy started approaching me in the dark from the parking lot. And he was very polite and very apologetic about disturbing me that early in the morning in the dark. But he thought that I worked there. And it turned out that he had accidentally driven his car into the boat ramp. And then his phone wasn't working, so we were spending some time trying to get that figured out so that we could call someone to help him who had more resources than me. And he didn't have a lot of stuff with him because it turned out that his car was fully in the water. He said something like, "Oh yeah, when I saw the fishes, I knew I was in trouble." So thank goodness he was able to get out of the car safely. And then he was hanging out in the bathroom outside the resort, which has heating. So he was doing okay, and I was trying to make sure that he was physically okay and well, and did he need water or food or anything. And I don't think I did a great job helping because my brain was so tired and there was probably all sorts of things I should have been doing to help that I didn't think of. But fortunately, someone from the sheriff's department rolled up while we were trying to figure things out. And they had found his car in the water. And so once they were all connected, they went off to deal with that. And then I continued my hike. And everyone from this situation was super nice and super friendly despite the stress of the situation. So I hope everything gets all figured out for all of them. This is the lower Rosary Lake. And here's Middle Rosary Lake. I'm whispering because at the last lake there was 20 tents and I feel like there could be one anywhere here. And here's Upper Rosary. It suddenly got really cold. There's a 30% chance of rain today. I think it's going to be a cold rain too. Oh, and obviously I have many questions about this morning's encounter, but sadly I probably won't get any of them answered. There's the 3 Rosary Lakes that I just passed, and then the longer one in the back is Odell, where Shelter Cove was. There's some different blazes on this stretch. They're really high up because they're for the Nordic skiing season, I think. This is the maiden shelter. It's maintained by I think the Nordic ski people. So they've got tons of wood for the winter. And it's one of the most beautiful shelters on trail. So well maintained and it's so clean. It's got a cool shape. It's got a loft up there. We don't need this, but got a stove. The one thing about my current setup that I should probably figure out a little bit better is that whenever I want my whole food bag out, which is often. I always want to eat every little thing from all over my food bag. I have to take everything out and kind of repack this whole top part. I'm taking it pretty easy today, kind of, after my hard hike yesterday. My muscles are sore and my joints feel like they need to be treated very gently. So I'm just going at a pretty relaxed pace. This next stretch for resupply is from Shelter Cove to Big Lake Youth Center. It's about 90 miles, and Big Lake Youth Center is an amazing place that does so much for hikers. I sent a box there. They have a camp in the summer that's done for the year, but they still offer hiker services even for us very late season hikers. Wonderful place. I'm very excited to get there. The dying branches on this tree have a perfect ombre. It is very Oregon weather right now. Fully overcast, a little bit of a misty, drizzly, not even a drizzle, it's a mist right now, and a little chilly. So I like this kind of weather. I hope it stays like this all day and does not get to be a stronger rain, but if it does, I can't see, but I already put all my stuff away and it's dry. It did go from a mist to a drizzle, so everything's getting a little wet. One good thing is that today is a really easy day. It was just going to be a dry stretch and then a bunch of lakes and not a lot of elevation. Maybe it was like 2,000 feet of elevation over 18 miles when I last checked, which is super chill. I found this fairly dry spot. The ground is not soaked yet, right next to Charlton Lake. Here's one of the, I think it's Mike's robin. They cold soak really nicely, but they do take a long time, and then I added some sesame oil. It has been raining all day, and my phone has been in its Ziploc bag all day. But I did find a spot that's been kind of dry for my snack. But this is pretty typical Oregon weather. It's cold and it's wet and it rains all day sometimes. But it wasn't too cold. As long as I was moving, I've been comfortable. But up on that exposed, foggy, rainy hilltop, it did get pretty cold. This is Brahma Lake. And the rain is finally starting to clear up a little bit. This one is Stormy Lake. Got my tent set up. I'm in the Three Sisters Wilderness, and there's something about being far from water and far from trail. I'm not sure exactly how much, so I'm just far from both. It did stop raining, but I think it is, I'm in my quilt. And I'm hiding under here because it is so cold. I think it's in the low 30s. But I've got all my warm stuff, and I've got my water filter in a little bag at the foot of my quilt. So if it freezes tonight, that'll be safe.